football great Ken Stabler was found to have CTE, the degenerative brain disease linked to repeated blows to the head. Joining us now, leading spine surgeon and author, Dr. Dave Campbell, creator of the online health newsletter Thrive. Dr. Dave, I mean, this is sort of like last conversation we had. It's the data. I mean, the data speaks for itself, does it not? And especially in a case like this?
Well, it does, and so does the history. If we look back to boxers nearly 100 years ago, we've known that they had a subtype of what we're seeing now with football players. So this isn't new. We're just learning so much more about it. And the concern going forward is, how do we prevent it? How do we diagnose it, and how do we treat it?
Well, it's not going to be prevented if Roger Goodell doesn't think it's happening.
Well, that is surprising. And, you know, I look at all my boxing heroes from the 70s, Muhammad Ali, Ken Norton, Joe Frazier. Right. It didn't end up well for any of them.
No, it can't. Look, I mean...
By the way, you just underlined that. It can't. Right. It's physically impossible. And as football players get faster and bigger and the collisions get more violent, you can't avoid this. It's going to happen.
It does get a little more complicated. I was a team doctor for a football team for 18 years. Football's not going away. Ways to mitigate the risk in kids, flag football, changing the rules, which they're changing, having kids play contact football when they're older. The big problem, though, that we're going to hear going forward is this neuroplasticity, where kids can recover from injuries and sprout new interconnections. Older people can't do that. So an NFL player is different than a 15-year-old playing high school who's really big.
You know, looking at us all the years later, though, Zeke, I think about the drills that we did in 98-degree weather in the panhandle of Florida and humidity at 99%. There was one drill called Bull in the Ring. You had the ball in the middle. You had everybody around. They all had helmets, and they would come in and get you, and it was, and then you get knocked down. Somebody would get out, then you get up, and then somebody else would come in, and probably 20, like what we call bell ringers, in about 3 minutes of a drill, and that happened repeatedly, and it's happening all over America today.
All right, cover of Time magazine, the Alzheimer's pill, a radical new drug, could change old age.
So I come from a family, my mother has dementia, advanced dementia. My aunt, a brilliant woman, just faded away terribly over a decade with dementia. And I've got one aunt who's 86 who stayed active. She scares me. She out-debates me all the time. I cannot talk politics with her because she buries me in the ground. What are there any things that people that have a history like me of family members with dementia can start doing in their 30s or 40s?
That's the whole key. Diet, exercise, and lifestyle, social connections, keeping your family member who is at risk for this illness of Alzheimer's or any other dementia, keep them very active. And engaged.
Interactive. All right, everyone stay with us. Up next, healthcare. Once again, a campaign battle issue.